Alright, Lucas here, back again with another video. This one was sent to me by Template. It was a few days ago now, but in catching up, I've been having quite a few replays sent to me, so I made like a queue. So this one has been waiting a few days. So we're playing Warriors, it would seem. I think in this scenario, we just set the dust shoot and pass. Whoa, sets the exile force. So warriors often try to blank nobleman of crossout. However, recently people have been playing flips in their warrior decks, and I would assume that's the case. But man, getting your exile force exiled or banished, sorry, uh, is often quite bad, seeing as it's a very good target for your revivals, Call it Haunted and Premature Burial. But maybe we're not running those. So we just shoot here. So setting this heavy storm looks risky, but if there's a breaker, the magical warrior, we actually can take it away with the dust shoot. So this is a common approach. However, sometimes you are put into an awkward spot if there's like Thunder Dragon and breaker, but that's a risk some players choose to take. Right. So we picked Sangan. What were the options? Phoenix Wing Windblast, Jar Creed, Upstart Goblin, Judgment, Decoy. So our other option was the Koichi. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Because the Sangan could attempt to run into the Exile Force, and at that point we have a face-up Exile Force facing down a Sangan, which is a quiet, weird spot, not desirable. And the Koichi is very unlikely to actually attack our set monster. Okay, so yeah, set the Koichi. Whoa, and they set free. So flips the Exile Force. And the intention is to tribute this to pop the set monster before flipping the heavy storm so that there's no target for a chained Phoenix Wing Wind Blast in case NB96 does manage to find a discard fodder. That would be unfortunate for us, so we do this first. Alright, so Solemn Judgment, Wind Blast, and Jar of Greed, I would assume are the three set cards. So we could even lead with the breaker, just cause then it's 2 and 3, not to hit the Jar of Greed. Well, if we flip the Heavy Storm first, it's a it's going to trade for the Judgment most likely, and then it's a 1 and 2 for the breaker. But if we lead with the breaker and we hit a non-chainable, then the Heavy Storm is not looking as good anymore. Maybe we should save the Heavy Storm. I think I actually would lead with the breaker and delay the storm. That might be a mistake, but yeah, I think that's what I would do. Alright. NBA decides that paying 4,000 life is worth it in order to save the Wind Blast. At this point, we could even go for reinforcements for Don Salug. Yeah, maybe this is better actually. Okay, decides to go for the breaker, but this is 50-50. I would rather have gone for the reinforcements, seeing as the Don Salug is quite likely to be good. as the Phoenix Wing Wind Blast unlikely has a appropriate discard fodder. Okay, decides to attack first, saying that the Wind Blast does not want to be used. So we hit first with the breaker and then we use the breaker. Yeah, it's slightly better, I guess. I mean, you could even pass, but I still think we should attempt to pop the Wind Blast here. I don't think the counter is that valuable. Decides to just pass. Okay. We could set the reinforcements as well, but a heavy storm could be an issue, so I think we shouldn't. Yeah. So I think we pop the new set with breaker. It's quite interesting that we didn't flip the jar of greed. I would assume that's because the breaker might hit the jar of greed. You could also claim that we shouldn't pop the new set with the breaker, seeing as um, NB willingly set it into the breaker. But if we pop it, there's a wind blast without anything to discard and a jar of greed. I guess we could flip the jar to make the wind blast live, but that's not an issue. So if we were to like rota for Mystic Swordsman level 2, if we're running that, that sounds really clean. Yeah, time seal. Okay. So rota for Swordsman level 2, attack with both. I think looks great. So this is kind of telling me that we're not running Swordsman. If we are running Swordsman, I think this is a minor mistake. Maybe then a big mistake. Alright. At least with Blade Knight, so that if it's Spy, we're not taking damage. I mean, pushing damage I think is more relevant. Yeah, run over the Sangan. But now the Wind Blast is good. Maybe we should actually not run over the Sangan. And then Rota for DD War Lady. And if the Sangan tries to crash, we book it. That seems very artificial, but I think that might have been an improvement. Okay, so likely we're going to Wind Blast here. We could prolong it, I guess. We do. So we don't get the draw step due to the time seal. Here I think we definitely grab the War Lady because the set monster could be a Serpent. If it's not the Serpent, however, maybe we should just pick Mystic Swordsman level 2 because the Serpent isn't very scary, seeing as we have two lethal threats and they only have Wind Blast and Jar of Greed set that we know of. It's so weird that they haven't flipped the Jar of Greed. Okay, anyway, so I think Swordsman level 2 is a deterministic win. Yeah, I guess we're not playing Swordsman in our main deck then. But yeah, it doesn't matter. This is just a deterministic win. Okay, yeah, and there we go. There's the flip monster, Magician of Faith. I guess we lead with Kaiku. The thing with Breaker is it's so unlikely to work out because we're discard fodder and we're running Jar Greed. And Kaiko if it runs over, say, Dekoichi or a Sangan. NB can't respond with a Chaos Sorcerer, seeing as the Kaiko prevents them from summoning it. Yeah, Template agrees. So it was a Serpent. I mean, that's very risky from NB. And here we go, we drew the Nobleman. So, are we scared of Torrential? I mean, we probably should be. Yeah, I think we Nobleman attempt to attack with the Kaiko and then set the Faith. I think that's just solid. Yeah, they agree. Okay, and we get the Thunder Dragon. That's nice. Because nowadays, these Chaos decks, especially the Turbo variants, but also the Control decks, a lot of them have kind of given up on running light monsters apart from Double Faith, Triple Thunder Dragon. Um, is that tomato a threat? I think we're gonna have to let it be. Ring is a good one. So we still haven't used any of their back row. I wonder what that means. Kind of sensing that there could be a solemn judgment, because I wouldn't have held on to a jar of greed this far. And if we're setting two into a potential heavy storm, I think likely it's either a judgment or a jar of greed as one of the cards. So I might be tempted to go for the 50-50 with the breaker onto the solemn judgment here. The other card likely being Torrential Mirror Force or Geki Break, something along those lines. Yeah, we go for Kaiku, that's also fine. But now we're only to Mirror Force. I guess our plan is to flip the Judgment. Okay, this is a bit awkward. Ah, run it over. Get rid of the tomato. We had Tsukiyomi. Okay, but the Ring of Destruction top deck is great. Ooh, so we set two there to play around this exact scenario happening. That was nice from Temply. I'm not sure I agree though, because worst case scenario, it's Tsukiyomi runs over Kaiko, or we have to use the Judgment, whichever we prefer, which I don't think is the end of the world. This does leave us very weak to Heavy Storm. I guess the Judgment as Storm. Yeah, maybe this is fine. We lose the BLS to the duo. Yeah, this is likely fine. Yeah, feels bad. Yeah, not sure I like this. So it was Storm plus a chainable. So they simply set those into a potential heavy storm. Maybe that's like the meta gaming that it's always a jar of greed, so maybe we don't even play our storm if we had it. That's interesting. So here I think we definitely lead with the breaker. Why would we nobleman first? Are we not playing the breaker? Because we don't have to play around torrential here, seeing as both the serpent and the sangan have been used. I think dropping the breaker there seemed quite clean. I'm not really going to mind running these two into Mirror Force. I mean, if the breaker resolves and we lose the 50-50 on the activation onto the Mirror Force, And that's just unfortunate. So I think I would have gone for the breaker there. I could be missing something. Why did we go for it now? Did we just know there's no torrential? I mean, it does work out, but I think the sequencing was just an error. So, do we summon BLS? There could still be Mirror first, but then we have the ring. So yeah, we summon BLS, and that's a deterministic win. Yep, good game. Alright, so that was a nice win for Templi. I think we played well, but perhaps not perfect. Would love to hear their opinions on this game. Was a good one for sure. Definitely showing off the strength of warriors. And yeah, hit me up with your replays, and maybe I'll review them instead. Uh, I am getting quite a few sent to me right now, but it's still manageable, and my queue is not that large right now, at least. So yeah, thanks for watching. Thank you to Templi, well played, and I'll catch you guys next time.